So the journal, 9, 12, 13. There we go. As you are doing the journal, I'm going to come around and leave a mark on your paper. No. See, you might have missed that part where I said just put your assignment on there. So don't be working on it. 9, 12, 13. Water displacement. I want you to describe it in your own words. Might be a couple sentences. How do you do it? If somebody came up to you this weekend, maybe you're in line at Super One, and they go, I heard about water displacement, but I have no idea what it is. How do you do water displacement? You might at first be a little surprised, but then you would hopefully answer their question and explain to them what is water displacement. While you are doing the journal, I'd like to have your assignment. Out on your desk so I can check it off. Assignment quickly. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay. Do the journal. That's our bell. All the 5. I'll eat that. Those bells are confusing. Into 5. Okay. Now do the journal. You didn't do it? You came in though, did you? But we didn't do it. Oh. Yeah, you know what? That's not good either. Hey, no wheelchair. Yeah, awesome with it. That's a good deal. Hey, you know, so here I thought you were going to be the APS section. What? You didn't know about oh, sad.
I didn't get the last dog question.
No. You know what? I was actually going to start on it, but not. It's interesting because I had quite a few people come in this morning and ask specifically about number 5, but some asked other questions. No,
I answered it when it happened.
But number 5 was a challenge. And you know what? I should have counted. It's 12 or 15 people came in before school started. Average time that I spent with them, and some of you are in here that did it, so that's good. You know, average time I spent with each kid was less than a minute, probably, around a minute. So they came in and said, I get number 5. I say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? All of a sudden, light bulb came on. They walked on like, oh, no. And guess what? It was free. I didn't charge them anything. They came in, took about a minute, boom, they walked out, they had it. Okay? I'm telling you from this point on, I know, and I don't know where it comes from. It's just, people come into 9th grade often, and you might be used to coming in with your assignment and saying, well, yeah, I did it all, but I didn't get this one, so I didn't do it. And maybe you're used to teachers going, oh, that's too bad. Oh. But I'm not that way, sorry. I'll say, oh, that's too bad, and it's wrong. Okay? So I expect, if you don't get something, I expect to see you, first thing. Now, you remember this? And maybe that's where the confusion is. Maybe you didn't have that in 8th grade, but you have the 10 minutes built in, 7:50 to 8 o'clock. It's called the check-in time. That's actually part of our official day. You're supposed to be here. The buses drop you off before 7:50 and all that good stuff. I'm here most days. You're here. Stop in. Maybe you say, oh, there's only 10 minutes. Yeah, but I only need one of them. And if you come in and that 1 minute's not enough, because you come in and I can't get you squared away and pointed in the right direction in time, I'll cut you some slack on your assignment. That makes sense? You come in, and some of you, this is the case. You came in and you asked, and we didn't get it totally cleared up in that time. But at least we got started. I'll give you more points for sure than if you just come into my class and say, I didn't get it. All right? So please, try to get rid of that mentality. If with an assignment, if you don't get it, that's like, oh, you got to come in and stop in and see me. And I'll at least get you pointed in the right direction. But that's for in a moment. Water displacement, your journal. I'm most curious about this. How'd you describe it? You're standing in line this weekend and someone asks you, hey, what's water displacement? Are you able to give them an answer? You're able to say, oh, you know what, you do this and this. What would you tell them?
Water displacement. water displacement is when an object enters the water displacing, in quotation marks, water equal to its volume.
Oh, so what do you mean by displacing? What does it do to that water? Does it take up the same amount of space?
Yeah.
Yeah, does it push the water away? So the volume of the object is the same as the volume of the water that gets pushed up or pushed out of the way, right? Yeah, displacement, very good. That's why we call it water displacement. Because that volume of that object, when it goes in, it is going to push out or displace that equal amount of water. And so the volume, you can find it. Of an odd-shaped object, like those nuts you're working with, we can find the volume of it. Getting the initial volume, seeing how much the water goes up. Now that was with the GC. We also do the overflow tank, where we just collected the water that overflowed, and that was equal to the volume of the object as well. So hopefully that was something that can come up. And I really hope that you are standing in line this weekend at Super One and someone asks you, what is water displacement? And you're well prepared and you're able to say, well, you see, never know. Maybe it'll be me.
I was just going to say. Right?
Yeah, well,
Show
that
up
might be
like
one of the
this.
reasons why students avoid me when they see me in stores. Oh no, there's Mr. Aspen, go away. He's going to ask me about water displacement. No. My favorite. I have a good story about that, but I'll save it. Oh, we'll talk about it when it has to do with the fast food worker. But anyways, who was a student? All right, dimensional analysis worksheet. Here's the deal. You can look at your own. I already did my own little correcting on it. I left a little code in my own planet language, and so you don't need to worry about that. I know what that means. But take a look at the front side. I want to go through this because we're going to take a quiz in just a little bit of time, and this would be a good chance, hopefully, to catch any errors or maybe confusion. But on the front side, are there any on the front side that you looked at and you're like, that wasn't much fun, or I didn't get it, or I would like to see that one done? What one?
Number 11.
Number 11, that's a common one. Yeah, let's take a look at number 11. 93 million miles. Oh, that sounds like a long ways.
Isn't that
Sounds like I have a cool number. What's 90? Something special about that distance? You think there's something special?
1 light year?
Not quite. That's even longer. But you're on the right track. It has something to do with space generally, but it's less than a light year. And light year is a distance, so thank you for using that measurement properly.
The distance between the sun and the earth.
Yeah, that's distance to the sun and the earth, and it's also known as an astronomical unit. Maybe you remember that from last year. Is that yes? Maybe it doesn't. Okay. Hold on to it a second. Let me do the problem. Okay. So, anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you know it's the distance to the sun. It's just 93 million miles. It all starts with step 1. You write that number down. 93 million miles, and you put it over 1. Wasn't that our first step?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, put it, okay? That's our first step. Now, we'll multiply by a fraction bar. There's several ways you could go about this. But since the previous problem you went from miles to inches, I'm going to stay along the same vein and go miles to feet. So we need to put our conversion factor down. And if you look it up, 1 mile, I'm going to have to write it at an angle. 5,280 feet. That's the same distance. 5,280 feet is the same distance as a mile. That's why we're able to use that conversion factor. That cancels out the miles. Not done, because now we have it in feet. So we put feet down below. What should we go and do? Inches. And maybe, oh yeah, 12 inches, 1 foot. Now the feet cancel. If I stop now I have my answer in inches. That. Get rid of the inches. Go to centimeters. If you don't know, you look at your blue sheet and it says 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. You know what? The best news is you all can do that. That's the first 5 steps, isn't it? And you got 1 point. Just by showing your work. Now you take out your calculator. And now is where we start to have a little bit of trouble sometimes, okay? Because if you have an El Cheapo, like mine, I can't even put the first number in. I can't even put in 93 million. I'm like, I can't do the problem. No, you can. There's a couple things you can do. You can be smarter than the average bear with your little El Cheapo. Well, any ideas? I know I talked to a couple of you about this, but there's something I can do. If I got to do this math, in fact, I'm going to have you all do it, so take the calculator out. What should we do?
You could do 9.
Shh.
You could do 9.3 times 10.
Oh. I could change the scientific notation. You're on the right direction, but you're a step ahead of where I want to start simpler than that. You're right, totally. Yeah, and I'd give you a Snickers if I had one. Oh, I could do that, and I could drop. So what did you do? You dropped off 3 zeros. I'm gonna take it a step further. What if I drop off all the zeros? What if I take these 6 zeros off and that one, take 7 zeros off, and just put 7 zeros down? Just remember, so I'm dropping 7 zeros off. Now take your calculator, El Cheapo or El Grande, whatever you have. Take 93. Do it. Times, just do what I say, 93. We already took the zeros off. Times 528, because we took that 0 off. Times 12. Oh, great sadness, no calculator. Times 2.54. It equals. Now, forget about the decimal at this point, because we're talking about going to the sun. That's a long ways. Just tell me the number. What do you have there without the decimal? Go ahead.
1496689.
Plus 7 zeros, right?
Yeah.
We just did. We calculated out that number.
It's almost 15
We
trillion.
okay, just wait. We calculated out that number with an El Cheapo calculator by just dropping off the zeros. Did I miss one?
No.
Oh, yeah.
One more 9.
One more 9? Oh no.
Well, because it was 0.9.
Oh yeah, but we dropped that off.
Yeah.
Yep, don't worry about that. I dropped that off. I said add 4. Okay? Now, those of you who have the El Grande calculator, mind if I grab yours? Oh, yeah. Scientific one, punch it in just as you would. Punch in 93 million. Go ahead, you can do that. 93 million times 5,280 times 12 times 2.54. Did you already get that? What does your calculator say? What does it? But it can't write that way, though, does it? What is it? Show me the display. That's what I want. Because your displays, and this is where I had a lot of questions on. Your display will show me something different.
Mine's got it on there.
What is it?
1.5 times 10 to the 13th power.
Did yours round it off to 1.5 too? Did it? That's awesome. Some of them will say this, 1.49, and yes, and then all these numbers, 6, 6, 8, and then it'll either say times 10 to the 13, or it'll say EE to 13, or it'll just say 13 up high, you know, as an exponent. That's scientific notation, right? Your calculator sure rounded it off to 1.5. Oops. Times 10 to the 13. Okay? It's all going to be the same. I mean, that's round, that 1.49, that's rounded off to 1.5. That's what I would choose if I was doing this problem. And you know what? If you write that out, that would be moving this decimal 13 places. Let's check it out with what we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 13 places. We got the same answer. 1.49 times 10 to the 13, which would be 1.5 times 10 to the 13. There's several ways of doing this. You don't just look at this problem and say, I can't do the math. Because we did it even with the El Cheapo. Yeah?
So I didn't know you could do it with the El Cheapo, so
Okay.
I did it by hand.
Oh, wow.
And I got really close, but I got 2 extra decimals. I got
Oh,
2 decimals.
yeah, you're off by a power of 100, huh? 2 powers
No,
of 10.
well, I got 149668992, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, just like 7 zeros.
Ah, wow, that's pretty impressive. That's great, but in a quiz situation, I would use a calculator.
Okay. I just didn't know how to do it. I was like, oh.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. All right.
I got a different answer. Mine was 1.649766.
I would try to punch it in again. I'll do it with you. Ready? I'm guessing that if you missed one number, that's where it's going to be off. So try it again. 93 million times 5,280 times 12 times 2.54. We'll come over and check it out. We're missing a button there somewhere. Yeah. I'll help you in a second. We'll come back to it. Take a look at the back side. Number 1. Number one was pretty straightforward, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hiking trail needs a bridge, 42 feet, how many meters? Oh, that's like, okay, so you put 42 feet. Is that okay if I go a little faster on these?
Yeah.
You put feet on the bottom. I tell you what, if it's not okay, if you're sitting there going, what, slow down, I don't get this, at this point in time, that's a message to you saying you come in and get some extra help. I'll help you out. There's our setup. So 42 divided by 3.28 is, what is it, 12? Something?
12.8.
12.8 meters. If I'm making the bridge, I maybe would make it 13, right? Because the bridge is a little bit longer, okay. Bridge is too short,
Not okay.
not so hot, yeah, so, you know, that 12.8, good. No problems with that one, that was easy. So you're going along, you're doing number 3, you're like, okay, a painter needs 5 gallons of paint for the next job. That's a lot of paint, huh? The paint comes from Deutschland? Germany? Whoa. Must be fancy paint, huh? Don't you like problems like that? I mean, I read the problem, I'm like, whoa, what's with the paint? That's come from Germany? You don't do that, do you? You just read the problem and you want to get it done? Oh, you're missing out. You're missing out. Anyways, calculate how many liters. So 5 gallons over 1, because you call it Germany, then they got, I don't know how many gallons then. So a gallon on the bottom, liter on top. Now it's Germany, not Britain, so they're not worried about imperial gallons or anything. It's 3.79. Did you all use 3.79? Did anybody use 4.54? You'll get something different then. That's the, you know, change your blue sheet so it is 3.79. That's U.S. gallons, not the imperial. 5 gallons. Okay, gallons cancel. What's it? 18.9.
18.95.
18 so 18.95. But I would liters. I would probably say 19 liters. I would order enough, right? That makes sense. So that problem wasn't so hard, other than wondering why the heck you're getting paint from Germany. That didn't bother anybody? Seriously. Really? Is that how it's going to be? You're going to read these problems and you're just going to go, I just want the answer, I just want the answer. Oh, come on.
Bothered me.
Hold on. I know what bothered you. Just wait. Number 5. This is the one that did this one not so much fun. This one where you're like, what the? Yeah, I understand. That was by design. Okay? I wanted you to look at that problem and not just go, oh, that's what I'm going to do. But however, I didn't want you to quit. I didn't want you to quit. In fact, this is all year. Please. You're going to hear a little voice in your head from time to time that says, I don't know. Have you ever heard that voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it a lot. Okay? I don't know. When that happens, you're going to have a choice. Do you let that be a dead end, a roadblock, and you say, I don't know, and you stop? Or do you back up? And you keep backing up, and you keep asking yourself, what do you know? Because you know something. Sometimes you back all the way up until the only thing you really know is your name. Oh yeah, that's right, I know my name. And then you go from there. Oh, I know I'm in science. Okay? I know we're doing dimensional analysis. I know the problem has meters in there, and I've got dimensional. Okay, what do you know? Does that make sense? Let's do this problem by saying, what do I know, instead of saying, I don't know. The radiology department, what? No. What? I don't know what that is. Huh? Looking to replace an x-ray table. Oh, now do you know what radiology is?
Yeah.
You already knew probably. X-ray table. Oh, okay, I must be taking x-rays. Patients are positioned up for radiographs. That's what we call it. The picture they're taking. Yeah. But company sells a 1.5 or a 2.5 meter table. Well, the 2.5 meter table costs 30% more. Figures, right? That's where they're going to get you. Oh, yeah, you want the bigger table? Spend more money. Incidentally, this radiology department sees a lot of NBA players. Who are that? NBA
National.
players.
National basketball.
Yeah, basketball players, right? The pros, you know. If you don't know, they tend to be tall. They're usually not short, okay? Even the short ones are kind of tall, right? Yeah. Anyways, so just so you know, now you're reading the problem, you're like, what? Show data that can be shared with supervisors. Which table should be purchased? Well, I'll tell you what, if you're the supervisor and you're after the budget, what table do you want? You're trying to save money. Hey, let's go with the cheap table, right? That's good enough. Why not? The other one's 30% more. Well, you're the person that's going to have to position the people on the table. What do you think you should do with this problem? Should we just leave it go and say, oh, well, I don't have any data? Or can you say, what do I know? Well, what do I know? What do I know about basketball players? What do you know? They tend to be tall. Watching a basketball game, they tend to talk about their heights, right? And if I start sort of throwing out some basketball player heights like 6'2", 6'4", 6'6", what am I talking about? Feet? Do you watch any basketball players or basketball games and they're given the heights in meters?
No.
Not in the U.S. at least, right? Oh, look at him, he's 1.7. No. Okay? So, you're trying to go to your supervisor. The supervisor says, well, what's wrong with the 1.5 meter table? What's your response probably going to be? Yeah.
It's too small.
What do you mean it's too small? Why? 1.5 meter, what's wrong with that? What should you do to help convince your supervisor that, wait a minute here, this is ridiculous? What'd you do?
Well, I didn't do the problem.
Okay, well, what would you do?
I would convert the meters to feet.
Yeah, I'd simply do this. I'd say, hey, 1.5 meters over 1, a meter on the bottom, feet on top. We can do this at 3.28. That cancels out. We take 1.5 times 3.28. I think you get, oh, don't bother doing it now. You already lost the points. Just wait. You get 4.9 feet. Yeah, don't bother. Just wait. 4.9 feet. So you're telling me under a 5-foot table, we're going to have like a 6'6", 7-foot tall person. Here, lay down, sir. Have a foot hanging off each end. And then you tell your supervisor, but if we buy 30% more, I know it's a lot of money. We're trying to save money because we want to make money, not spend it, and all yada, yada, yada. You do all that. I think you get like 8.2 feet. I know it's an 8-foot table, but sir, ma'am, we see a lot of NBA players. Maybe it'd be nice to have the bigger table, right? If you go to them with it in feet, is it going to be a little easier sell? Do you see the direction of the problem?
Yeah, but I...
Was it doable? Thanks for telling me. Was it doable? You could do it. Was it as simple as number one? Number one was like this. Spoon feeding. Hello, it's 42 feet, 22 meters. You like problems like that, don't you? But be honest. Hey, I was in 9th grade one time, a long, long time ago. Yeah, I did too. But that's not where we're going. Number 5, that's the direction I want to take you. I want to take you to the direction where you're given something, and you go, I don't know. And it makes you back up and back up and back up until you find something you do know. And then it maybe leads you to, okay? And there's absolutely nothing wrong when you come in and say, hey, I don't know. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to ask you questions to back you up and find out what you do know. And that's the problem solving I'm after. And that's the problem solving that we need. Not just now as 9th graders, but as a country, as everything, as a society. Well, now we're getting big, aren't we? But that's what we need to do. We need to stop saying I don't know and stopping. No, stop, yeah, you know what I mean. Back up. What do you know? Okay? Now, good news is the quiz, way easier than number 5. The quiz, it's almost insultingly easy. If you're insulted by how easy the quiz is, I apologize. Because the quiz is a lot like the first page. It's like, oh, whew, right? Okay? So we'll have more fun. The rest of this worksheet is going to be due on Monday. But right now, tear out a blank sheet of paper. Have your blue sheet and a calculator. Blank piece of paper, blue sheet, calculator. Oh, we'll try to catch up on a little bit of time. A little bit, I don't know what to, it took too much time. But seeing from your smiling faces, I can see that I truly inspired you. And now you will no longer stop at the I don't know stop sign. That's not even an I don't know stop sign. It's an I don't know dead end sign.
It's like a brick wall.
It's like a brick wall that you just keep running into. Oh, you know what? You gotta back up and find your way around it. Yeah. Oh. What do you know? What do you know? Find that and build off of it. You'll be amazed at what it'll lead you to. Ready? Turn it over when you're done. I want to get to our lab yet. Could you 4 just slide over? Just don't hit the fish tank. They don't like that. Do not write on this, please. Do not write on this. All work goes on your piece of paper. Could you 4 right here in front of me slide over so you're now in line with me? That's nice, huh? Landed all right? Yep. along with that. You guys slide over?
Or just like these.
Okay, show your work on your separate sheet of paper. This is a quiz. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Don't talk, obviously. If you do not have a calculator, great sadness. Show your work though. Okay? You cannot share calculators. You cannot use communication devices as calculators. So that's no phones, no tablets, no iPads. Okay? You don't have a calculator? Get one. If it's an El Cheapo, paste it into your 3-ring binder. Then you have it every time. But you cannot share calculators. My first period of the day, which is actually 7th period, I think I'm going to get them donuts. Every single kid had a calculator. Awesome. That's my expectation. You guys slide over more. But the good news is, I give credit for work. Show your work. You could get a passing grade. You can actually get a pretty decent grade on this quiz without doing any math, by just showing your work. Okay? So that's what I expect to see. I want to see your work. Yeah. Start writing on that one. Oh, sorry. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. 1, 2. It's numbers 1, 2. So it's worth 2 points. Yeah, I'll do that quite a bit. You see this? 1, 2. I try to lead you, say, hey, that's going to be 2 points. 1 for your setup, 1 for the answer. 3, 4. That's worth 2 points. 1 for your setup, 1 for your answer. If you go all the way down to 7, how many points is that one worth? 1, 8. 1. Okay. There's no work because you're in the metric system. Nice thing in the metric system, you don't have to show your work. You can just swing the decimal. Label your numbers appropriately. Turn it over when you're done. We'll shoot for about 5, maybe 10 minutes. Turn it over and get it done tight.
Thank you.
That was a little German. Not pain. Just wishing you good health.
Yes.
Good health. Turn it over when you're done. We will get to the volume lab today. I don't think we'll finish the conclusions, but we'll at least finish the lab part. Maybe start on the conclusions. The rest of that worksheet, dimensional analysis, will be due Monday. had with it. Buying paint from Germany is nothing to the poodle eating noodle, or the noodle eating poodle. That would be a nasty noodle. Stay away from that spaghetti. You were covered as you're going through the problems, please. No need to lead your neighbor into temptation. Again, 789, you don't have to show any work, it's just the answer that I'm after. Do all your setup, we're gonna correct this ratio. So don't do all the math, we'll just go through all the, I'll just get the easy ones, do the setups first. Super. That I gave you. Turn it over when you're done. Yep.
What do you do for your thing? You saw that about the license? They did undigit people.
Tell you what, we're gonna finish in about a minute. We're gonna correct it, so we're gonna kinda have to, at this point, take care of things. More time will help. Just talk to me and I'll make arrangements for you, but if more time is gonna result in the same, then yeah, do 789 quick, because there's no work.
Jacob Van Gerben, could you please report to the office? Jacob Van Gerben, please report to the office. Excuse the interruption. department. The internet is currently down and could be for several more hours. I will make an announcement if it comes up and we're still here. Thank you.
So, it's not, they're canceling school? What? School closures because of snow? School closures because of cold? School closures because of no internet?
That makes sense.
Just kidding. No,
I
no,
wish.
you know what? It is a pain when we lose the network, but you know, I'm always like, hey, wait, yeah, I think we can still learn. We can still teach. So. Sorry, this is one of the classes where we lose the internet. And I'm like, I'm kind of used to it by now. We'll figure it out. I know. For both of you. Okay, tell you what, we're gonna have to correct this. So, given knowing it wants more time and it's gonna help, slide back together, exchange with your partner, real quickly. Chop chop, because we wanna get to the lab. Now, oh yeah, you know what? When you exchange papers, when you give it to your partner, I know, is smarter than the average bear. You don't have to explain anything to them. They know when you hand it their paper that it's your paper, and they know they're going to correct it, so I can't imagine any conversation that needs to be had. It's like you give them your paper, and they give them your paper, and it's all well done. Shh. If you didn't do one, they'll know that, because it's empty. All right. I'm going to start doing these kind of, I guess, a little faster than what we've done. Because we're correcting it, but I'm hoping you get another chance to see it. At this point in time, if what I'm doing is like too fast or there's some confusion, that's like a huge beacon going off in your head saying, hey, just stop by and see him. I'll help you out. Because it's not going to get any better on its own, all right? Because we can do this, and it's a skill we're going to just have throughout the whole year. So if I give this problem, here's what I would expect to see. 15 inches, if you have 15.0, great. Inches over 1. What? Inches on the bottom, centimeters on top, so they'll cancel. 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters. So 15 times 2.54, 38.1 centimeters. 1 point for the answer, it must be labeled. 1 point for the setup, all those numbers must be labeled.
What do you write?
Nothing. You only slash it if it's wrong. Thank you. Only do a slash if it's wrong. Don't even talk to them yet. So, 3-4, 2.2 miles to the yards. So we do 2.2 miles. Now it'd be nice to go miles to yards, but I didn't give you that conversion factor, but we have miles to feet. So you know 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Miles cancel. If I stop right now, my answer's in feet. I don't want that. I want to get rid of the feet and go to yards. So 1 yard, 3 feet, feet cancel. Now I know I have my answer because I have it in yards. I'm running out of space. This is a big one. 3,872 yards.
But you divided it by 3.
So you take 2.2 times 5,280 divided by 3. Good? 2 points. Okay, 5, 6. I've used up my space over here. We'll go 175.5 pounds over 1. Pounds on the bottom, kilogram on top. 1 kilogram is the same as 2.2 pounds, at least on our planet. And so the pounds cancel. 175.5 divided by 2.2, 79.8, 80 kilograms is what's left for a label. 2 points. Setup, answer. And it's either right or wrong. If they have missing labels, it's wrong. You put a slash there. If they have the wrong number. If they have this as 79.77 and you can round it off to 79.8 for them, it's okay.
What if it's 79.5?
Oh, I have to see. I don't think so. That's too far. Okay? We'll check. I always give you an opportunity to show me. Okay, now the last 7, 8, 9, last 3. You don't have to show any work here. And I want to show you something where you could even do these faster than swinging the decimal. Some of them at least. No, I was talking decimals, not her hair. Don't touch. Thanks. Okay? Number 7. Kilo. That prefix, kilo. What does that mean? The prefix, it's used a lot. I mean, sometimes you'll see it in advertisements. Maybe you're looking at an ad for a four-wheeler. Someone's selling a four-wheeler, and they're saying, hey, we want 4K. What? You give them 4Ks and you get the wheeler? No. What does it mean?
Kilometers, or, yeah.
What does kilo mean, though?
What?
Just kilo.
Oh,
What do they want for their four-wheeler? They want for what?
1,000.
$4,000, right? Maybe you're looking at an ad for a car. Not yet, but soon. And you say it's got 100K miles. How many miles does it have? 100,000. People use it all the time. K is kilo. You can say the word 1,000 instead of kilo. 2 kilometers, 2 kilometers is 2,000 meters. You don't even have to do anything. You can just say, hey, 2 kilometers is 2,000 meters. Make sense? So that's a kind of a quicker way of going about things. 8, 26 centimeters, you can still swing the decimal, that's fine. 100 centimeters, oh, what's a century? 100 years, okay, 100 centimeters in a meter, so there'd be 0.26, we move it over meters. I'm doing this super fast because we should have this by now, and if not, see me. 3,500 grams to kilograms. What does kilo mean? 1,000, so 3.5 kilograms. Kilo to the base unit is real easy to work with. You just say the word 1,000 instead of kilo. Okay? Yeah, you can put 00 there. This could be 3.500 kilograms. That'd be fine. Okay? 9 points. Put their score on top. How many they earned out of 9? Put their score on top out of 9. And, oops. Put a square around it, please. Trouble. Score on top out of 9. What they got out of 9, hand it back to the owner, and I'll answer briefly just a few questions, but I'll tell you more of what we're going to do with that. Hand it back. Okay? Now, take a look at your paper. Take a look at your paper. If you see the mistakes, and you know what they are, you're like, I won't do that again. Great, perfect, and no problem. If you get your paper back, and you see the mistakes, and you're like, what? Just come and see me. I'm going to keep these for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, 2 school days. All right? You can come in, and you can get half your points back. Plus, you can come in, and I'll help you. But this is a skill now. A quiz like this, if we do something like this again, I'm expecting 90% plus. Maybe make a mistake here and there, but this is just a skill that you need to have as a 9th grade science student. All right? So there shouldn't be any problems. If there are, I'll gladly explain it to you another way. We'll figure it out. I'm confident that each and every one of you can master this. It's not as big and scary as you might think. And you always get to use this. So, hand the pens forward, please. And now I want 2 separate piles. I want a pile of the little quizzes. These. Hand it forward, and then your quiz. Person on the left, you take care of all the handing in, right? Person on the left, take care of it. Now your quiz. You got all the pens? Sure? Got all the pens? Got all the pens? Hand them up, take out your volume lab. About 15 minutes, that will be at least plenty for me to get started with. Got it? Little pieces. They didn't want you? Not time? You look confused, man. Huh?
Well, we were supposed to, the announcement said 11:30,
Oh.
11:45, but I think she said 12:30.
Oh, really? Really?
Not quite sure.
Okay, volume lab, got it? Get the volume lab out? We did it yesterday, I hope. Volume lab. See if I can find it. The only problem is if we lose the network at this point, I won't be able to reopen any of this. Unless it's just on the internal. I have it all saved there. That's alright. Volume lab. By the way, let's take a look at 4. 1, 2, here's 4. Does everybody have your data up here? Does anybody need to get up here and write it or change it? A few of you? Okay, hold on. Well, this will be up in a little bit. Alright? It'll be up in a little bit. Well, in fact, I'll leave it up right now. Take a look at the front page of your volume lab. Front page. That's where we left off. Now, my plan is today is for you to work on the conclusions with your partner. They were not assigned as homework. Okay? They're never going to be assigned as homework. What do I want to see? Why don't I assign them as homework? Why is it that I won't send you out to say, hey, these conclusions are due tomorrow? What am I after?
Be done in class.
Why? Why do I want them done in class? Mason? Yeah, and I want to have the discussion part, right? Yeah, you work together. I want you to discuss the conclusion first. You come up with one answer that you both agree on, then write it down. Is that more challenging than doing it by yourself? Sometimes. Sometimes some of you are sitting there going, whew, thank gosh, I get to talk. Yeah, that's fine too. But I want the discussion. That's why it's not a homework. All right? Now, I'm going to discuss with you conclusion number 1. I don't want you to answer it right now. Because in order for you to write something down, you first would have to do what? Talk to your partner. Very good. And I don't want you talking to your partner while I'm talking. So just, pencils down and let's look at number 1. It says compare results for your liquid volume from the beaker to the graduated cylinder. We kind of did this. We measured out 40 milliliters in the beaker and we poured it into the GC. Did it end up being exactly 40 milliliters? A couple of you got lucky. A couple of you cheated. That was not a big deal. But is the beaker a good device for measuring volume? Pay attention to me, please. Thank you. Is it a good device? Not really accurate, is it? All right? For number 1's conclusion, you and your partner discuss why in a minute. Discuss why, and you write that down. Why isn't it really good? There's another conclusion having to do with graduate cylinder size. This is a 100 milliliter graduate cylinder. You know why we call it a 100 milliliter graduate cylinder? It can only measure up to 100 milliliters. Let me show you another GC. Go ahead and share your first response when I show you this GC. Oh, come on, no, you don't hide it. I know. You saw this little guy, you're like, oh, it's a little baby. Right? No? Cold, heartless, ninth grade. Gee, really? I just show you the Big Daddy, and then it's okay. I know. Some of you are thinking, oh, it's cute. Yeah, okay, fine. It's not cute anymore. It's a 10 milliliter graduate cylinder because it measures. Yeah. Now, here's the difference. Each one of these lines on the 100 is 1 milliliter. Each one of these lines is a tenth of a milliliter. So think about that, and feel free to come up and look at it. Just don't move over the baby. When you answer number 2. Okay? Number 2 is talking about these two GCs. So you talk about it with your partner, come up with a good answer that you both agree on. All of the conclusions are done by you first discussing it with your partner, come up with one answer you both agree on, then you write it down. And that's why it's not assigned as homework, because I want to hear the discussion. So in a moment when I say work on your conclusions, I expect to hear murmuring between you and your partner. If you can't agree, you call me in. Now today you're working with a partner that's sitting next to you. That's your partner. If they were gone or there's issues, we'll make changes as we need to. If you need to do this, do this. If you need to fix something in the lab because something didn't go well yesterday, use this time to do that first, quickly. Then come on up and work on your conclusions. Question?
I was going to ask if you could, read it.
Yeah, back there. Yep, so you can go ahead and do that first as needed. All right? So you have about 10 minutes. Let's see what we can get done. I'll leave this up if you need to use it. Go ahead. Oh, I almost dropped the baby.
Oh, no, we don't actually do that. Yeah. We just do that.
Not bleeding.
Who's your partner?
We just do
Oh, you're all good? Okay.
Yeah, you just divide.
Feel nice to walk around? I bet.
So it's 0.5.
What did you get your game?
Yeah, really for nothing.
What's the football season will be over?
Yeah, I'll be good for that.
No. 2.0.
Okay.
Is it divided by 5? It's divided by 5, right?
Yeah, either video or still. I forget what I gave you. Line part. Eventually, I want to get it so I can. I might have to get a better model. Have it back here. See the little headlight on it? Have it back here. And then also have it rise up and come over the room. This one's not so much. Yeah, see, that's something you can work with. Yeah, I'm going to have to charge it up with the charger. All of them. Oh, yep. Yeah, I just kind of redid the discussion part together. Yeah. Don't want to leave without you.
How does this affect your body?
Which partner? Have her come up.
Melissa.
Come up, take a look. Volume condition. So that's the 40. VF. The difference between the two is what?
Oh wait, we have to write our.
Yeah, but what's the difference? What's so significant?
Yeah,
Think of our journal.
are we gonna write our
Think of our journal.
volume up there?
Yeah, what is it? What is it? Yeah, and that's getting you what?
This. 141.96. 1.1.
Sorry.
141.96 centimeters to the third pound. And then also we
Usually
got
full ahead, that's gets been.
0.0. Don't forget.
Additive lamp. That has to be charged up. That's one downside too, is the battery.
So they measure up by 0.2 centimeters, like larger. How do you think we would figure out how often we would do it?
Right?
What makes sense? That's not so if you had point, so if the block is actually like 9 centimeters, and you measure in 9 points, you think it really is 8?
Sorry.
So it is. I'm actually starting with number 6.
So leaving early.
Because I think what you'd do
You can't do the
is
stairs.
you would
I probably could, but it can't get
What? Yeah, I know. In fact, I'm gonna do that for everybody. Hey, time out. Eyes up here. Just hold on a second. Nice job, by the way. I'm walking around and you're murmuring to your classmates, your lab partner, trying to come up with one answer you both agree on. You're putting the same answer down because you've already discussed it, right? I know it takes a little longer to do it that way than if you just answer it, but I want the discussion, so that's good. The volume lab is not homework. In fact, we're going to save it for Monday. Just save that for Monday. What is homework is the dimensional analysis, the evens. Then we'll be done with it, right? The whole thing, all of it, both sides. If you want to take that out, you have a couple minutes to get started on it. Probably be a good idea, so then you know what your assignment is and what you have to do. I'm available. You can go, Alex. I'm available to help you out. If we don't have it at this point, it's not going to come to you over the weekend. You got to come in and get some help, okay? You need to come and see me. We'll get you up on Tuesday. Yep, I'll get it up today on Monday and Tuesday I'll be. We'll get you caught up. Does anybody need this up? No?
I just want to see what that looks
Yeah. Oh, hey, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Huh. Did I give you a couple minutes to work on your assignment?
Yeah.
I did. Would that be a good thing to have out? Would that be a good way to demonstrate to me that, oh, you are busy lives and you don't like homework? So you want to use all the class time you can to get your homework done? Yeah, that would be a good thing. Because when I give you class time to work on homework, even if it's only 2 or 3 minutes, and you just pack up, then that's the message I take. I think, oh, you like homework. So I really should find more. But I'm looking out at you, and I know maybe that's true for some of you, but most of you, I bet, have other things you'd like to do. Now you can back up. Whoa, what's the rush? No, a fire alarm is a different sound, and then we go up that way. That was just the bell for classes. So I use that as a fire. Okay, assignment is the evens. Instead odds. Evens. For Monday, that's all. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Be safe. As in, listen to your parents. Be nice. Hey, you guys know to get on the portal? Where's the computer? What's your password?
That's nice, though.